Hi, I'm Georgie, and welcome back to the Ava Wellness podcast. If your wellness to-do list is never ending and you're overwhelmed by trends and information being thrown your way, then we are here to simplify it. So, if you're ready to own your health, keep listening. Hi guys, welcome back. Me and Soph here again.
Hello.
I've just got to take you through what?
Look alive.
Hello. She's still got a very sexy voice.
Bit of a sore throat, but
I love it. Keep it. Yeah. We've got a really short and sweet bite-sized episode, but we've had a really interesting question through from one of you. And Soph and I both felt really strongly about answering it.
yeah, it was a nice one to talk about.
And the question was, any advice for me? I've just turned 30 and I haven't looked out after myself in my 20s. I was drinking a lot and eating badly and just felt a bit lost. I hear your 30s get better, ? It's really grabbed my attention, this one, for personal reasons. And I'm sure the same happened to
I
you.
think a lot of people can relate. I think your 20s, particularly early 20s, you feel the most grown up you've ever felt when you're in your early 20s. Like, I felt more grown up then than I do now. I think the older you get, the more you realise how young you are or how much there is to learn still.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
Really? Well, you just feel more and more grown up as you get older.
No, I get what you mean.
I'm like, when I felt pregnant at 28, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be such a young mum. I was like, I just couldn't believe that I was mature enough to have a baby. Whereas, like, I feel like from the age of like 15 to like 24, I was like, I'm just so grown up. I know the world. I know what I'm doing. Whereas that was like so not the case at all. That changes so much. And I just feel like towards the back end of my 20s, I don't know if COVID's had something to do with it as well, though, because I did so much self-development work in COVID. I actually felt like I was reborn when Romeo was born.
Really?
Yeah. It was such a transitional time in my life.
The thing is, how to answer her question though. For me, my 20s were great, like yours, like you said, and filled with, I would say, a lot of spontaneity, a lot of fun, a lot more freedom.
So much fun, so much freedom.
However, I am much happier with myself as a person in my 30s than I was as a 20s.
More content, more confident, just like loving life more than ever, more appreciative, more present.
Yes. Know what I want, know who I want
Yeah.
to be around. Something happened on my 30th birthday, and I don't know whether it happens. I'm a big believer in New Year and new chapters, and I go all in for New Year, like mentally. I don't mean I go out partying till,
No.
but I'm like, okay, this is my chance, and I'm like, 2025 is my year, and this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm quite spiritual, and it comes from a place of this is my chance to create a life that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened on my 30th birthday to me. And I think it's, you, as you know, as my friend, I won't go into it now, the year that I'd been through and in leading up to my 30th was by far the worst year of my entire life for medical reasons and personal reasons. It was so hard. And as soon as I turned 30, I was like, I'm a new woman. I felt reborn. And I'm not saying that's going to happen to you, whoever's sent that question in. But I do feel it's a chance to redo your, in quotation mark, wrongs. If you feel like you've destroyed your body, you're not looking after yourself, and you don't even have to turn 30. It's just every year is your chance to be better.
I think it's never too late to start, but I also don't want anyone to take that as, you know, I hate the whole like diet starts Monday mentality or whatever it be. Like, we'll start that on Monday.
Yeah.
And like, if you want to start something and if it to have an impact, like start now.
Start now.
But I mean, if you get to the point where you're like 15, you've just kind of found out that strength training can be really beneficial, start now. Like, it doesn't mean, oh, I've got to 15, I've never done it, so there's no point. You can always, again, you guys know I love Dr. Amen, the brain health expert, but he always says it's never too late to change your brain.
No.
Just start doing something positive today. And let that start to have an impact. So I think going into your 30s, I think you can accept that your 20s was a different era. It was the time to do, maybe the nights out, the drinking, the takeaways, if that's, what you did do. And then decide, what do you want out of the next decade of your life?
Yeah. And I think it's okay for happiness to look different in different eras of your life.
Oh my God. My idea of fun in my early 20s was going out to a party, having some drinks, getting dressed up, socializing. My idea of fun now is literally like Peppa Pig World with my kid.
Mine's not that, but
I have the best day.
I've always been a hidden wellness girly, I would call myself. So although I've worked in wellness pretty much my entire career, been in fitness and wellness. I have also in my 20s really enjoyed going out with my friends. I'm the first one on the dance floor and the last one to leave at a wedding.
Yeah.
I love I've never been able to drink a lot, so it's not really about the drinking, but it's about that social, pushing your body to the absolute limits of lack of sleep and alcohol in your system and just noise. And I also loved that, but always secretly, I've found joy in the quiet and the wellness habits. And I feel like in my 30s, is really profound, and it's the first time I've said this. I feel like in my 30s, I've let that person come out fully.
Yeah.
And it's not because I didn't enjoy the partying. I loved it at the time. But
this wasn't accepted.
The door is now shut.
Yeah.
And I've let what really feeds my soul out, and I'm not ashamed of it, and I'm also not afraid to say no. Like you said on one podcast, you'll say no to certain dinners. I'm just really, I wouldn't say I'm secure, but I'm much more secure in how I want to live my life, and I'm not worried about what that looks like to anybody else.
I always love the saying, you've got to meet the universe halfway. And actually, our friend Katie said that. I don't know where she got it from.
We love you,
I know.
Katie.
So I always go back to that. You've got to meet the universe halfway, because I do think there's an element of life changes and happens for you, but you have to put the work in to kind of facilitate that. And me and my sister were both quite we loved to party growing up. And I met my now husband when I was 24. And that was kind of the start of me kind of settling down, not going out as much. We bought a house, obviously, we got married, had a baby. And my sister was still partying, I hope she won't mind me saying this, a lot, right up until even a few years ago, probably her late 20s. So whereas I had stopped it in my kind of mid-20s, she was still going. And I was like, but I don't even want to do that anymore. My mindset's really changed. I'm like, why hasn't hers changed? And my point is, we're all just different, and we all have to get some things out of our system before we then decide, actually, I've done that. This isn't, I enjoyed it. I loved my 20s, but that life I had in my 20s is not a life I'd want in my 30s.
Yeah. Quick pause before we dive back in. If you're looking to truly support your mind and body every day, then you need to check out the Arbor app. I created Arbor to give you round-the-clock access to expert-led workouts, holistic wellness tools, and real mindset support, all in one place. Whether you're starting out or if you're deep into your wellness journey, Arbor meets you where you're at. Download the app today, and we're giving you a 2-week free trial to start moving, breathing, and living better. Now back to the episode. And I think don't feel like a message to my cousins in her 20s as well, and her friends, and don't feel bad about wanting to change the chapter you're in.
Yeah, and you will lose friends in doing that, because I have lost friends, unfortunately, throughout the different seasons of my life when I have felt the need to change, or I wanted to change. And the friends that I had around the time of me being a person that I don't relate to now, you friendship groups change sometimes. And that's the harsh reality of it. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be bitter, but respect yourself enough to say, actually, that's not where I'm at in my life anymore.
Yeah. And I think I spent a lot of my 20s trying to please other people and trying to please society.
Yeah.
And now
you care a lot more what people think in your 20s.
Yeah, and now I'm more. By the way, this didn't happen overnight. It was triggered by
process.
a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And a lot of touch and go situations. Yeah. So if you don't go, I don't know what would happen. I don't know where I'd be if I hadn't been through age 29 in that year.
Yeah, I mean, I actually question who I would be if I hadn't gone through the process I went through after having my son.
Exactly.
It was the most mentally challenging time of my entire life.
So certain things will be thrown at you to push you into a different ecosystem.
And that's how I think you should frame it, is even when it feels so tough and you're like, why is this happening to me? I really like to say or think that life is happening for me. It's trying to teach me something. It's trying to push me into the next chapter of my life.
Yeah.
I think that might be like quite a naive way of looking at it, but that gives me comfort.
Oh, massively. And I think to give this person reassurance, your 30s, the 30s are great because you're just more grown up.
Yeah.
And you're just more like grounded.
But you're still youthful.
Yeah. With a little bit of organ supplements. No, your 30s are great, but I think it's not just this switch that happens when you turn 30 and all of a sudden you're more comfortable and confident. It happens with growing through life and going through things and then beginning the process to really just loving who you are rather than trying to please other people. And not every 30-year-old, what I'm trying to say, not every 30-year-old on this planet feels the same way. We're lucky enough to be 31 and 33.
We're fine.
33. She looks younger than me. We're lucky enough to have experienced that journey from wanting to please others, going out all the time, not looking after ourselves, to now being in this situation where I don't give a flying F what other people think of my routine or my life. I go to bed super early. I wake up super early. Yeah. I work most of the day and I work out every day and I do all these things as a regiment because they make me feel the best version of myself.
I relate to that more.
But not everyone's going to be in that place.
No, but I think the point is, just to summarize, is you are in the driving seat. So you decide what the next day or month or year or decade looks like.
And I think the biggest thing, given my and actually given yours as well, knowing what you went through, is if you were going to do anything right now, if you feel a bit lost, if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, if you don't feel like you know who you are or you're secure or confident, then begin the journey to knowing yourself. That sounds so woo-woo, but you understand what I'm saying. Like,
completely.
No one else matters. Like, literally no one else on this planet matters.
I think what's something I've learned over the years is to show up for the people I love. I have to be looking after myself well.
Yeah.
To show up, to be the best version of myself, to show up for them as whether that be a sister, a mum, a friend, a wife. I have to be looking after myself.
Also, it doesn't, but it's, and in that, what you just said, if the people around you don't agree with certain things that you do, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
If they love you, they love you.
Yeah.
You love them.
And if you believe in what you're doing wholeheartedly, then go with that.
Should we think of, just to finish this episode, and it's super short, but I really wanted to answer that question. Deep one for me. Should we think of like 2 tips each for someone who's going through a transition?
Yes.
I've got a few.
Okay. You go first.
Write down, and this might take you a few months to do. It's not off the top of your head because we can be swerved by peer pressure and social media all the time. What truly makes you happy? Like really, like genuinely in your inner core, what makes you happy? And that's not like the quick stimulation of
like shopping, you're for a handbag,
or a very fast run and beating your PB. Like, yes, that's a good thing that in your deepest core makes you happy. Is it a certain person, people? Is it looking after yourself?
I was say an activity. Like, do you love the hobby?
Traveling? Like, that's a good one. Like, what really lights your fire? And start writing a list of these things, and then make sure these things are in your life. Make sure they're in there.
I'm actually going to follow on from that, because I've been doing a lot of this recently, is like visualizing your, either like whatever you want to refer to it as, your higher self or your future self. What do you want your life to look like in 1 year or 5 years, whatever it be? I always steered away from doing that because I have this like irrational fear of feeling or looking like an idiot. Like, I will never, like, when we got our book deal, I didn't tell anyone, like not even my family, until like the contract was signed and we had a release date, because I was just so petrified of saying, oh, someone, like, we've been approached by a publishing company, they want us to write a book, and then it not going ahead, because I would have like felt like such a failed version of myself. So now, so I've never liked to look too far ahead, or like I'd never wanted to like dream too big, because I didn't want to be disappointed if it didn't happen. Whereas now I'm really into like, but if I do want it to happen, I need to make it happen. So what do I want my life to look like in a year's time? What have I achieved? What have I done? And even now I write down every month, I review my month, and then I write down my goals for the next month. And that's both in like my career and my personal life.
I love that, yeah.
So doing stuff like that, I think, can help you get really clear.
Sorry, that nearly made me cry.
Oh,
One.
I haven't got any more, so you do.
Yeah, I'm struggling to verbalize this one because it's important. Find your people, and if someone doesn't appreciate you, they don't deserve to be in your life.
Yeah, love it. Simple.
Don't cling on to things that
aren't serving you anymore,
that aren't appreciating how amazing you are.
Yeah, love that. Okay, that was fun.
I'm a bit emotional, we're both a bit tired.
I do appreciate someone messaging in and getting us to touch on that topic.
Yeah, I think if anyone has any other questions that we can answer, just giving our opinion and our experiences, then do let us know. But that was really cool, so thank you for sending that in, and good luck.
Yes,
good luck. And trust me, like, let's finish on a positive. Your 30s are pretty cool.
Yeah, I just think life has the ability to get better and better.
Better and better.
Yeah, if you do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.